Hi, it's Velvet Knowles again, and today we are going to flip a skirt. Um, this is the skirt we are flipping. Let me put you down so that you can see it. This is it. It's quite long and kind of not really bodycon, but the waist fits me pretty kind of well. So this is it, and I want to make it into like a connected two-piece. And hopefully I'll be able to get a feather boa so that I can put it at the bottom. So let's get right into it. So the first thing I did is cut the skirt right where the slit was, just like that, because I knew that was the portion that I wanted off. So the skirt remains like that intact, and then we have the other part. It's also important that you leave room to sew it in, just so that you have a nice finish line. So that's the skirt, as you can see, and now I'm turning it inside out so that I can remove the lining, because I do want that to be part of the outfit. So yes, I'm just figuring out how to remove the lining in this. Once the inner lining is off, the next thing I did was to take off the seam of the waistband, because it had been folded inside and I needed to make use of that fabric. So this is just me removing the part where it was sewn together. With the inner lining finally off, this is the skirt. That's what the bottom looks like. So I put that aside, and the part that I had cut off earlier, I then completely ripped it off so that we only had one piece to work with. And I also needed to remove the inner lining from that other part as well, because I only wanted to use the fabric. With the fabric off, this is what we were left to work with. Onto the skirt yet again. I made a pattern of what exactly I wanted the bottom part to look like, just with a chalk, and that's me drawing on it. And then I went ahead to cut it right where I had drawn. As you can see, I did that on one side, and then I folded the skirt and just cut right through where the part was. So this is the part that had most of the work. I was going to sew all around the skirt anywhere that had raw edges. And then I cut a piece of fabric from the leftovers and I sewed it together inside out. Then I flipped it back so that I didn't have any stitches that were being visible. And that's what I was going to put right at the top of the front of the skirt to join it to the upper piece to make it a two-piece dress that's connected. You'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, that right there was the layout. And then now on to the fabric that we had left aside for the top part. Now that's where we start working on it. So the first thing, that's exactly how the dress will be. So the first thing, I just picked a bikini top that fits me well, and I used it to measure out because that's the easiest way to do. And just using a chalk, I marked it all around where I needed to cut, and then proceeded to do that as you'll be seeing. Van wanted to say hi. So that's what you'll get. And I simply cut right where I had marked, as I had said before. Once I was done cutting, I was sure to leave room for the seam allowance so that I could sew it in just a little bit so that I don't have raw edges. For the straps of the upper part of the dress, I made those using the remaining fabric. I just measured out how thick it is I wanted it to be. The width is what I mean. And I just cut right through that. So this is me just laying out the dress so that I know that it will end up being functional. So that's the top part, that's what will be connecting it. And I also have the straps which I was going to just sew all together. There were 6 pieces in total, 3 pieces for each side. And that's just me making sure everything is intact. And then I also had little pieces that I was going to attach to the back so that the back, when it's all sewn together, This is what the front looks like. Pardon my lighting, this was done at night. So this is the front part. As you can see, that's what is connecting the top part and the bottom part. And then when we flip it over, this is the back side. I also decided to put 2 pieces of fabric to join the bottom back to the top back, just because otherwise it would have fallen. So yes, this was the finished look. And this is the final fit, guys. You can see that's the front, that's the back. It turned out so well, like I'm totally in love with it. I wasn't able to get the feather boa, but it's all good. Still turned out 10 out of 10. I love it. Thanks for watching. Bye.